guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Luna over here. I am a real estate agent here in Philadelphia. For those of you who watch my video, obviously you guys know it is my second year in the business. In today's video, I'm going to do a reality versus expectation. I have been an agent for almost 2 years now, and I wanted to use my first year of experience compared to my second year experience and just give you guys a full overview of what's your expectations versus what the reality is. So let's get into the video. So first and foremost, let's talk about the real estate exam. Before I was an agent, I feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna nail it because in college there's so many exams, it should be fine. So I went to the actual in-class education. There are two ways you can take it. One is by taking it online. The other is to actually going to a classroom where you have an instructor to give you information, and then you take an in-class exam. Then you have to pass the in-class exam in order to register for the state exam. So I was just winging it, and my in-class exam I failed. So I took second time, and then for the actual state exam, it actually took me 3 times to pass the exam. So I'm not really proud of it, but basically, the tips I'll give you to you guys is you have to practice, you have to understand the content. You can't just wing it, because all the multiple choices, the question and the answers, they all seem very similar. So if you don't really understand the material, it's really easy to get it wrong. So that's number one. And secondly, I thought that, being as a real estate agent from the TV shows, it just seems like everything is so fancy. And I thought to myself, I can, dress up and I can wear heels, I can wear designer bags to all the meetings. In reality, that's not really the case. Now that I've been an agent for, 2 years, most of the time when I'm not meeting our client doing full presentation, I'm usually just in my gym clothes. But you never know, because you might get a lead the same day. So I typically would wear all black, and if anything, I'll just put in a black jacket with a scarf or something, make it a little formal. And then I always have a pair of heels in the car in case I need to change. But I will say 80% of the time, I'm always in sneakers and workout clothes, just so, it's comfortable. I can go out, put a sign up on the front yard, and, I can run around because you're busy. You have to be realistic. So that's the second thing, that expectation versus reality. The third is, I always thought that being an agent, getting a lead is so easy. When I was first an agent, I was a rental agent. I post things on Facebook all the time, and if people respond, or if friends or family, people who I went to college with, they see that I'm an agent, they will reach back out at me and they will say, hey, can you help me find a house that's 1 million? I want to buy a multi-unit family for $1 million. And at that point I thought, oh, that was a legit lead, and I'll actually calculate the commission on that particular transaction, which right now that I think about it, everything that I post online, those online lead, is not an actual lead in my opinion. The actual prospect that can turn into a lead to me is most likely, cold call follow-ups and actual seller who knows exactly where they're moving to. They definitely have to sell this year within the next couple months. Those are the actual lead, versus before I thought that everybody is a potential buyer, and that's not really the case. The next one I will say is definitely daily routine. When my first year, or what I expected was every single day is so exciting. I get to have lunch with different people, I'm meeting different buyers, But in reality, that I'm an agent for so long, every single day, it's pretty much the same. I have made a video about my daily routine, which I'll link it down below. I pretty much come in the office Monday to Friday, and I'll prospect, I'll send mailers, follow-up letters, I'll be on the phone all day. If I have a settlement that day, I'll get to dress up, and then I'll go to settlement, and I'll rush back and I get on the phone, I call sellers. So pretty much every day is same, and it's kind of boring in other people's eye, but to me, I think this is the most efficient and productive way for me to generate leads and grow my business. So number 6 is the way I think about luxury listing. When I was a new agent, or before I become an agent, I expect myself to be a luxury listing agent, just because if a $1 million listing, 3% of commission, you're looking to get at least like 30,000 off from one transaction. And 30,000, that's a car. Like, maybe even more than a car. So I thought to myself, oh, I have to network with rich people. I have to network in rich neighborhoods. And little do I know, after being an agent for 2 years, I realized that anything that surpassed $500,000, it's gonna take way longer to sell. However, I understand if you price it right, anything can fly off the shelf. Let's say if you price under market value. But luxury listing usually takes a lot bit more time to, even put on the market, how to please the seller, all the marketings, everything like that. So it's not as efficient as if you would just focus more on your average home price houses. So what I can see myself from my past data and the past transactions I have done, I did have a $1 million listing. However, that deal took me almost 4 months to put it on a contract. And we were supposed to settle last month, and the buyer's financing fell through. So it's like 4 to 5 months of hard work. It just went, for nothing. However, a few weeks ago, I did get 3 listings, and all 3 listings are around 250,000. They're twin houses in a very hot area. And I priced it very competitively, and I was able to put all 3 of them under contract within 3 days. So, there are definitely pros and cons in how I, think of myself, what I expected and versus the reality is completely different. And last but not least, I want to talk about the way I think brokerage. Before I was an agent, I thought that if I would become the greatest agent in Philly, I need to sign up with the best brokerage in the city. However, I did that. So I went with the top 2 real estate company at the time, which is now, they are the top 1 in Philadelphia, total production volume. It's KW Philly. And, every agent in the office has a great vibe. I mean, I still recommend you guys to go because they have lots of trainings. However, I just don't think that was the right brokerage for me. I mean, they have different, split, and they have different structures of how the agent do things. I was on a team at then. However, I switched to the company I am with right now. So versus a big franchise company, the company I'm with right now is a local brokerage. So they do things definitely a little bit more different than how, people do the things in KW. So I find that for myself, as especially a self-improvement as an agent, this company offers a lot better than the company that did before. My broker does, give me like access that, he helps me all the time. I can be on the phone with him to talk about different transactions. So with a smaller company, I find that it's easier for you to get more trainings individually. If you have questions, it's like more of a mentorship versus if you would go to a bigger franchise company that you would have, a general training, which is not something that I'm more leaning towards to. The last but not least, with the geographic farming, before I become an agent, like I said before, I was trying to focus more on the luxury listing. I expect myself to be just, all the $1 million producing agent on the Bravo show. Like, I want to focus more towards the city. However, right now, my geographic farming is more in northeast side. So it's like 15 to 20 minutes drive to Center City, Philadelphia. And in this particular area, I put my geographic farming is 10 to 15 minutes radius from my office, which is located on Frankford Avenue. And in Northeast, there's a lot of Asian buyers who are looking to buy, which I speak Chinese. So it just felt like it's more my niche, and it kind of, differentiate myself a lot more than if I would sell houses in Center City. However, also in Center City, there are bigger teams and well-known names that has been in the city for a long time. Especially, in Center City, Mike McCann's team is always, they're the #1, and Mike McCann has been a great, legend in selling Philadelphia for a long time. So for a brand new agent, for my branding to compete with somebody like that, it would just be a lot more challenging. So I rather focus, you know, on my northeast side and just be the greatest and the best on my little farm. So that way, you know, I can produce a lot more and more efficient as a solo single agent. So here is my video on the expectations versus reality, and I hope you guys enjoy my video. Please comment down below, let me know how you feel about this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.